Hi, I'm Lady Teddy. Um, so this is not very well planned out. Um, I am a streamer on Twitch, and recently I started reading out loud from a choose your own adventure story app called um, called Magium, because people told me that they really liked the sound of my voice. And first of all, highly recommend it. Super good. It's free, Android and Apple, so y'all should definitely get it. Someone was asking me, a couple of people have asked me if I'm planning on reading anything else, and through I've written poetry my entire life, never published it. I share it sometimes, but it's like I've been told many times that I should maybe start a YouTube channel and post videos of me reading out loud, or maybe I should publish it, write a book, something, and I've never really gotten around to it. But with people asking me if I'm reading anything else out loud, I figured no time like the present. Let's get around to it. But I also, my poetry is tends to be kind of depressing, so I don't want to bring the mood down in my streams, so I'm just going to post pre-recorded stuff. So since this is the first time I'm doing it, I'm probably going to read a couple different ones, and it's not well planned at all. And if people like it, then I'll keep doing it, and yeah, I'm willing to accept tips. I'll probably explain the backstory of these poems, but if people say that I should just let it be, then I can do that as well. So to start off, I have been writing poetry for a very long time, but I think there's one that could be considered to be the most important of all of the poems that I've written. I wrote it a while ago, December 5th, 2016. And I wrote it during the most severe emotional breakdown one of the most severe emotional breakdowns I've ever had, where I realized that I'd been trying a lot of things for a very long time. I tried yoga and aromatherapy and vitamins, trying different diets, and ultimately none of it was working. And even though there were people around me who were telling me over and over and over again that I should not try medication, I decided it was time to try something new. And I've had kind of limited results with medication, but ultimately I do think medication has saved my life. Something that people need to remember is that yes, a lot of the time medication for mental health is overprescribed and it's not necessary for a lot of people, but these medications were created for specific people who do need them, and maybe they just need it to help them develop some life skills, or maybe it is permanent, but some people do need more help than just positive thoughts and vitamins can offer. Anyways, getting kind of off track. I titled it, I'm Fucked. I'm gonna try and hold the book right here so that I'm not like just staring down during all of this. Again, not very well planned at all. I feel warm and wet on the inside of my skin, the moist residue of heat the sticky buildup of too many days unbathed, coating the inside of my being. I am disgusting. I am pathetic. My breath is a trembling question mark as it makes its way tremulously through my echoing chest. Everything is loud. Everything is touching me, even sound. I am warm and cold and uncomfortable. My chest aches, and I am full of sad and nothing. My eyes are wet, my face is dry, my life is spiraling away, and all I can do is cry. I want to die. People tell me I have everything to live for. People tell me this too shall pass. People don't know my reasons. My happy is a thin and cracked glass, an empty jar filled with melancholy. Because no matter how much people love me, no matter the connections I make, no matter the passion that consumes me, no matter the other lives at stake, I want to die. I dream of dreaming. The nights where my mind is black and I feel nothing at all, the nights where I become no one, are the nights I feel most loved. Maybe it is a little selfish to say no one's love matters, to say I feel it and it doesn't affect me at all. Maybe it is a little selfish, but your love in no way lessens my fall. My guilt to you keeps me bound to this earth. I yearn to stay for true desire. I love you all and don't want to hurt you, but the truth is I am a desert plant who cannot escape the shadows. I am withered and miserable and gruesome. I live a half life off of half light. My happy is broken. My life is dragged out and ugly. I am here because of others' charity, and I am waiting. I breathe breaths that stretch me thin across the universe, thinning me tight as a bow. I claw, I scrape, I scream, I beg, I want to live. I fight and fight and fight and fight. I bathe in darkness and drink in sunlight, and I beg and beg and beg. I beg to live. I beg to unbind the shackles that drown me. I claw my way towards the distant light I see all around me, always just out of reach. I look to the skies for a guardian angel to guide me to it, but the skies only send rain, and so I beg. I want to live, and so I beg. I want to live, and so I beg. But I want to die. Oh, I should have said trigger warning before this. Trigger warning. Suicidal ideation, sorry. But I was talking about mental health and emotional breakdown, so hopefully that was enough of a warning. But yeah, you can probably tell the mindset that I was in, that it was like either go home, get put on medication, or die. And 7 years later, here I am, still here. So, my poetry generally falls under two categories, and sometimes they overlap. It's either trying to process or vent out emotion that is building up, or it's to help process what's going on in my life and help me make a decision. So, this next one is the latter. Trying to make it so y'all aren't looking at my forehead. They say that there is a hierarchy of needs. At the bottom, the most basic level, are the basic needs for survival. A stable shelter from the elements, food and water. Today's society, that means a reliable source of income. But is that shelter stable if it's not home? If your mind cannot rest for you are unsafe in heart and head? If you must tread lightly and watch your steps, watch your back, watch your shadows, Monitor your words within your own walls and the decibels with which you always speak them. Is the place you reliably rest, if it is perpetually unrestful, is it home? I came here to learn. I came back to learn. I stayed because I was learning lessons that were unplanned, unexpected, and extremely necessary. I changed, I grew. But what I had planned before is still the plan ahead. And I don't think this home is safe. I don't think it's sustainable. This environment is detrimental due to the past and the present. It is a home that prevents the future. Truly a home? Or is it a cage? I think I'm ready to move forward. And that means more than move on. Maybe it simply means to move. I found the economic reliability for income that suits my basic needs, but I am too exhausted emotionally to go forth and meet them. I lie in bed, draped warmly in an unfortunately familiar patchwork comforter, guilt and resentment sewn together with bright threads of apathy and depression, embroidered by dreams fading and obligations unmet. Life passes me by, and I am succeeding at surviving, but I'm not living it. My blanket warms me with the knowledge that I am slowly dying, and I am doing nothing more than avoiding an uninevitable ending. I see walls with no windows, no doors here. In dark hallways I've not ventured down, for they lead elsewhere. Why am I still here? Clinging to a drafted plan that could still be executed elsewhere. Clinging to a dream I claim is currently unrealistic. Here. Why am I here still? I'm clinging to thinly veiled excuses for fear of failure, and doing so is what is making me fail. Do I continue searching for tools to build a door, or even a window? Or do I concede a small failure to exceed a larger one? Maybe I simply need to move. So for that one, I went to college in Northern California, and I succeeded at finishing 2.5 semesters before I had dropped out due to mental health. I was also in a somewhat abusive relationship, and I believe that also made things worse for me. So I dropped out, but I wanted to continue living in the area to try and get my mental health under control, and it didn't work. So I came back home to be put on medication, and I was here for 9 months before I went back up because I wanted to. I don't think I wanted to let him take that area from me, and I wanted to finish school, so I had a plan. I had a job lined up. I had a social network that I thought would be good for me, and I had a home that I thought would be healthy, and stable. And I just wanted to get a stable life set up before trying to go back to school. And every aspect of that fell through. The job didn't work out, and then the job that I got after that also didn't work out. And then my house ended up having a bunch of roommates that were just crazy and just constantly stabbing each other in the back, and one of my roommates got addicted to drugs, and I ended up needing to steal his dog to take care of her because she was dying. It was the first point in my life where I'd ever had savings. I think I had about $2,000 saved, and I spent all of that money on vet bills, nursing her back to health. And then him and his junkie friends started harassing me all over the place, so I was scared of that as well. So that's house, job, Friends also didn't work out. There was a lot of, I don't know what I was thinking. Fighting for friends that pick the other person in a breakup is never a good idea. Go with the friends that went with you. Don't try and fight for ones that pick someone who wasn't good for you. So, nothing worked out. And I was still trying to make it work, and I was there for maybe a year and a half, maybe more. And towards the end of it, I was just doing nothing with my life. Because I was working, I was taking care of my dog, I was dealing with my crazy roommates, and I wasn't getting any closer to going back to school or fixing my mental health or getting a stable life. So I had to decide, do I keep trying, or do I come home and make a new plan? And here we are. I have other things that I could read. There's a lot in here. Is there any more in here that I wanted to read you? There's a couple that's like, I thought maybe I'd be able to write songs, and then, well, I have no musical talent, so I can't write songs. But they kind of rhyme like they're songs. Oh, that's not the one I thought I was looking at. So this one, actually, it was supposed to be kind of funny. I had this dream that I wrote a folk song about this guy who became a preacher and was traveling along preaching, and then at some point he realized that he'd accidentally joined the wrong church and was actually preaching for Satan. And then it's just sort of like, oh well. But so when I woke up, I tried to write it down, and it was supposed to be kind of silly, and it did not end up being kind of silly. But it's kind of, I don't know, I still like it, but it's pretty dark. I named it Demons. I guess now I'm a preacher man, and then, my love, you walked in. I guess you're an angel then? No way. Too hot for heaven. Straight from hell, my love. My demon. You wrapped yourself in shadows, sexy, silky, soft, and oh, you promised beauty and peace and so. I guess I preach for Satan then, returning to burn again and again, dying slowly, I think, finally it's gonna end. And then, my love, you walked in. My demon. Sweet words, soft lips, you promised the cure, with a dripping look in your eye, a look of contempt. But I always come back because you have this allure. I just want to know, if you ever lied, if you have really loved me, I'm dying inside. You promised a kiss, so I follow you out, across the burning sea, a mirage in the mist. I burn, I drown, I'm lost and alone. But to you, my love, I'm just a check off the list. So I preach for hell as I slowly die. Your sweet words, sweet lips, all just a lie. You both tear me apart and I never shy. I am numb, I've given up, nothing is mine. In your sweet words, I believe one last lie. You promised a cure, a kiss, a sign. I know no angel is coming, I readily die. My last breath slips out, a long lonely sigh. And then, my love, you walked in. My demon. You leaned down to kiss me as it finally ended. You promised you walk with me every last step. My love, my companion, my dear sweet demon. Depression. And yeah, that's that. That's the song that was supposed to be kind of silly and ended up being that. Oh, this notebook is from a very long time ago. And in it, I've got, like, things taped into it that I just found when I found the notebook. They were there. And I think it's just stuff that I wrote during, like, my episodes when I was younger. So there's, I do whatever I can to forget that I exist, but whatever I do, it always seems to bring my existence to light. And why am I always sad? Why can't I clean my room? Why am I useless? Why am I a burden? Why am I broken? I was a fun kid. And then there's one more that was taped into here on the other side. And I've looked it up, and I feel like it's the lyrics to a song that I liked, but I've looked it up and I can't find the lyrics for anything, so I'm wondering if I wrote them. If anyone is like, oh yeah, it's this song, let me know. Because if I wrote it, that's cool. I've got power, poison, and pain all wrapped around inside my brain. The mind within yearns to be free, but I guess all this suffering is stuck with me. Kind of cool, right? Yeah, so I think I'll leave it at that today. If people like this and want me to read more, let me know, and we'll see. Thank you for listening, and thank you. I appreciate everyone who watches this. Have a good rest of your day.